Do you remember exactly where you were on May 6, 2004? On May 6, 2004, millions of hearts were broken as Monica, Chandler, Ross, Rachel, Joey, and Phoebe said one final goodbye to that apartment where they left the keys, the 6 keys on that kitchen countertop. As they walk out to get a last coffee, heading to Central Perk, an emotional Friends, oh, without a doubt, very emotional series finale. Yeah, I remember exactly where I was. I was in an apartment that I lived in Dayton, Ohio. In Dayton, it was the last time I actually lived in Dayton, in a historical district called South Park. Yes, South Park. It's about a 10-minute walk from the Oregon district, which I'm sure a lot of you are a little bit more familiar now if you remember what happened back in 2019, mass shooting, which in May of 2006, in fact, now that I think about it more, during that day, at the moment that I'm reliving, as I stated there, as we're all saying goodbye, they're leaving the apartment, they set their keys on the kitchen countertop, but that emotional music as the camera is panning around, traditionally as Rachel and Monica's apartment, and then when it goes into that door with the picture frame, the gold picture frame, and then it fades into the credits. I was already shaking a little bit then, having a hard time breathing, and I'm finding myself getting a little choked up now. But I remember walking from my living room to where my bar, yes, this bar and I have been through, I think 4 or 5 different homes together. See, when you create something with your own hands, it's hard to let it go. But to my right, as you could probably pretty much tell, I'm the guy in the middle. There's a window there, okay? Now, let's think about it on Friends. What did they have to do in order to get out to the balcony, you know, at Rachel and Monica's apartment? They had to crawl through a window, correct? Well, that's what you had to do. I mean, granted, you could have crawled over my bar. No way in hell was I going to allow that. You had to crawl through the window to get to the back of that bar. And it was hysterical, and it was, everybody loved it. It was its own unique way of, I don't know. It wasn't the bar downstairs then, but it was the physical bar itself. As I was stating about Friends, as it ended there on May 6th, but I just know that, as I said, it was fading into the credits. I walked straight out to this bar, and I was at this corner, the left side, that I pretty much kind of bend over like in a fetal position, and I just collapsed. I just bawled like a little boy. Damn it, don't get emotional on this. Now, during that time, I always really had my friends there for me, and I tried to do everything I could, even though I was very much typically like more of an immature character of Chandler, but I did consider myself to be a lot like Chandler Bing. And that's something that's never changed, and it amazes the hell out of me to this very day. There's kids that are younger than my son that do what we did. I hear little kids, well, I'm like Rachel, or I'm like Phoebe, or I'm like Joey, or I'm like... That's what we did. The photo of the bar, the guy, I'll put it back up to the right of the photo. That's my good buddy Tom. Him and I were kind of a lot like Joey and Chandler. We were goofballs. We were dorks. And his wife, Gina, she was a lot more like Monica. She was pretty much... She had us under control quite a bit, but we had such wonderful times, and I'll never forget them. I cherish them so dearly. And it's so funny because I was going through stuff. I was actually trying to look for one particular photo, and the thing of it is, I had put it up for safekeeping, and now I can't find it. It drives me nuts because I was looking, trying a photo to obviously put in this video where there was 5 of us that we were really tight, and it was. Myself, of course, Tom, his wife Gina, Lisa, and Chavo. And it's funny because I had these 2 books that I had bought. I think one of them I received as a Christmas present. 10-year, like, one with the 10 years and all. And I'm so thankful that I have these. They're thick, very thick. And the funny thing of it is, these photos were in it, and the other one wasn't. Like I said, I put it up somewhere for safekeeping, but I don't know what it is. Now, I know traditionally on this YouTube channel, what I do here is nothing at all like what I'm talking about here. But then again, as I was contemplating on where on the earth am I going to put this video, should I put it on my original YouTube channel? It's all horror related. Or should I put it on my new one? Or I'm more of a goofball on that one. I'm like, no, put it on the original one. It makes perfectly good sense. I mean, if you think about it, individuals that love the hobby, or they're into the horror franchise, I'm willing to bet the majority of you out there got to know somebody that's probably your best friend to this very day, all because the two of you, or the three, or whatever, all had that same common thing that you both, or all of you, love, and that was the horror genre, or the horror genre. So this is the perfect channel to share this experience right now. Because after watching that Friends finale on HBO Max, I knew I had to do this video for a couple of reasons. And oh, by the way, this was in there. I'll try to scan it and really share it with you, but now I really wish I would have kept those two characters in that case right there. But yeah, it was inside inside this with the two photos that I just shared with you. Now, as I'm watching this Friends reunion, it's obvious, and this is really not a spoiler, but it was obvious that, yes, if you kept in touch with whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even before that social media stuff that we have today, we pretty much knew that the girls of the show were always pretty tight, especially Jennifer Aniston and Courteney Cox. The guys over the years, I mean, it's not like they all hung out together, but they always kept in touch, and they talk about this. But when those six got together and it was brought up, I think David Schwimmer mentioned it, it didn't take more than 5 minutes and they all just kind of clicked like it was just yesterday. And you could see it, especially when they were doing the trivias and stuff like that. It kind of felt like sometimes you were watching Friends again, if you know what I mean, because I'm trying to remember with one of the creators years ago said something about, and it makes so much sense, that after a while, the show itself, the characters, they really started writing themselves. And yeah, because those individuals and everybody that was involved with that show, from the writers, the people that set the beautiful historical settings, which is now obviously, as we all know, what was it, stage 24 or 34, but it's actually the Friends stage there in Burbank, California, Warner Brothers Studios. But every person that was involved, and of course, even people that would come to watch the show live, it was the perfect storm of a television series. I mean, everything about it developed so well, and there's no doubt in my mind as I watch all six of those individuals, Jennifer Aniston, Courteney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matthew Perry, Matt LeBlanc, David Schwimmer, you could tell that they care about each other very deeply. And Matthew Perry there towards the end said something about if they're all at a party and if they bumped into one another, if it'd been a while, it was guaranteed that he was going to go talk to one of those people that was a very important part of his life during that show. And they all knew exactly what he was talking about. It's like, look, I'm sorry guys, but he basically said he was going to be with someone else that was in the cast. He was going to be out with that person for the rest of the night. And I got that. I understood exactly what he meant by that. Now, I want to bring up one other thing that was very important to me as I was thinking about creating this video, and then I'll do my best to try to shut up. But as I'm watching this, a lot of memories came back, a lot of good and not bad, but sad memories. The sad memories that exist to a lot what's happened over the past year and a half, to what this whole world has had to deal with. We all have that common ground right now of what we've had to deal with. And I've had a lot of reflectors that's been happening to me lately, basically telling me, you've got to start doing some things that you've been putting off. Thinking of the television series Friends, that was a huge part of my life. There was other people that I've pretty much described They were a huge part of my life, and I haven't seen them in a long time. So I'm hoping that by creating this video, that maybe, just maybe, they have watched some of my videos in the past. And I know I'm going to share this on Facebook. I don't do that with all my videos, but I'm going to share it on Facebook, hoping that they will see this. It's my way of reaching out to Tom, Gina, Chavo, Lisa, if any of you have watched this video. I want you to know that there's not a day that goes by that I don't think back during those times of how much I cherish those days and how much I still value them so dearly. It took watching a Friends reunion to remind me how incredibly much I truly miss you guys. And now it's pushing me to try to find a way to hopefully find you through video. Tom, a cup of coffee, which should be perfect for what we're talking about here. Ohio State, this one's for you. Which, I'll be honest, is there's water in it right now. If you guys see this video, reach out to me. You can say something in the comment section down below. Or on Facebook. However you feel the need to. Reach out to me. I believe I even have my website. I have tons of information there for you to get in contact with me. For everyone else that's watching, I'm not trying to be a selfish individual right now by trying to reach a few other people, but I'm really hoping that they do contact me here. Because I would love to be able to catch up with them. And hopefully someday we could have our own Friends reunion. Well, that's it for this video. Like I said, I know it's different, but after watching that reunion, I'm telling you, I know every fan of that show, if they haven't watched that reunion yet, I know what you're doing on this weekend. And by the way, if you think about it, they had this reunion, Friends reunion. What day was it released on? The day of the week. Think about it. Traditionally, we are used to Fridays or Saturdays when it comes to HBO Max. Right? Am I right about that? But it was released on a Thursday. Think about it. Alrighty, I am shutting up. Sorry this isn't your typical video that you're used to seeing from me, but it had to be done, damn it. And if you're not a fan of Friends, well. You guys take good care of yourself, and hopefully if you've got some people that you need to get in touch with, I hope that I inspired you to get in touch with some old family or friends that you dearly miss. We know life is getting way too damn short. Get in touch with them in any way that you can, like I'm trying to right now. I think I've said goodbye. Goodbye.